Hey, what's up? It's Chris Young. What do you say we take a few minutes to talk about the features and meet your brand new Forest River Platinum Salem FSX 178BHSKX. A lot of letters, but there's a lot of stuff to it. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Young. Yes, we are going to talk about the features that are on your brand new Forest River Salem Platinum FSX 178BHSKX. Now, right up front, this is where you can not only hook up your vehicle and take it off your vehicle, but also help level the RV, because when you are leveling, you want to go side to side first and then front to rear. You got the manual crank here on your tongue jack. You got a 20-pound LP tank with the quick connect if you need to bypass right there. And you got your battery box location right here. And another nice little feature, your battery disconnect is located right there on the frame with the removable key. Now I'm going to take this tool because we're going to need it when we come around here to the campsite, because you have manual stabilizer jacks. Now you'll find this tool inside the pass-through storage. You slip this over and then you just crank. Clockwise for down, counterclockwise for up. You do it in the front as well as the rear. You also have the accessibility paneling system on this one, which allows you to just remove a panel if you need to get to a water container, or, tank, whatever, under there. You got the solar on the side, quick connect right there. If you are lucky enough to get one of the models that has the 190-watt solar panel on the roof, you will also have the solar charger controller in your pass-through storage. Now, the Platinums do come with the Lippert Solera LCI, which is Lippert, 12-volt awning. And this has an adjustable pitch on it. So a couple of things about that though. If you're going to adjust the pitch, make sure you're under the awning, because when you pull it down, if there's any water on top of this, it's going to come flooding down on top of you. And then when you're ready to roll it in, make sure you push it back flush so that you don't get some cockeyed or mess up the awning when you're rolling it back in. These also come with a manual override option, which is a rubber stopper located on the top of the awning cover. And it's just a 7/16 drive. You stick it in there, you can run it in and out manually. Now you do have steel steps on your Platinum FSX as well. And once again, with anything that you do with or in or around your RV, bad back, bad shoulders, bad knees, try to get somebody to help you, or talk to your specialist about showing you the best way to move things without injuring yourself. But for these steel steps, these just fold up and then slide up. Like that. As you can see, sometimes they can be a little ornery. You got to do some rocking back and forth. And then to pull them back out, just pull them all the way down till they extend to the bottom of the groove, and then fold the bottom step out right there. Friction hinge door, extra large grab handle, which also doubles as a door guard when you're in transit. Just lift and turn for that. You have a 20,000 BTU Suburban furnace on this unit, the 178. This is the vent for that furnace. So hot air coming out, just make sure you don't put any of the cloth chairs blocking this vent, especially when it's running, because that could cause some issues, maybe burn your chairs. Freshwater connection here, as well as fresh point drain down underneath. And the freshwater connection, it has a little vent here on the side so that it releases the air when you're pushing the water into the tank. This also will spurt water out if you've gotten too full, which is where having those freshwater drain locations right underneath comes in very handy, because you definitely don't want to have too full of a freshwater tank, because they can get so heavy. Some of them can actually drop out. Just got to watch out for that. Now, you got the Suburban hot water heater on this thing, and let me point out a few things on this bad boy too. Great little heater. You got the 6-gallon DSI bypass on it as well. You got the pressure release valve, which is there to give you an air pocket on top of the tank inside the water heater. So if it's too full, you're going to have to relieve some pressure. So you might see it dripping. That just means, it's not broken. That just means that it's too full. Get a coffee cup, make sure it's cooled down, because you don't want to spray hot water all over the place, and then just release the pressure by pulling the pressure valve. If you do need to reset this bad boy, you got the 2-button reset right there. You got your flame tube, your igniter, and the flash cover right here as well. Now and your anode rod right there too. Now, since propane has mercaptan in it, that's a smell that is really delicious to bees, dirt daubers, spiders, and other insects. They'll crawl in this flash tube and build nests or webs that will block up the tube. So if you take just a regular pipe cleaner, Clean it out, especially if it's been in storage for a hot minute, you know, or you haven't used it for a while, or if you see debris coming up the side of the camper, that means either this has got debris in it or this has got debris in it, and you can easily fix that with just a little pipe cleaner. And then to close it, you just push that back through there, like that, and twist and pull. And there we go. You do have a steel rim on this one with a nitro-filled tire. Plus you got the 110 outlet here on the outside. It is GFCI, so if you need to charge your cell phone, you know, do your boombox, whatever, you can do that. But here on the campsite with our external kitchen, you'll notice not only do you have a 110 outlet here, you also have a dual USB charging port there. You got the Everchill fridge with the little mini freezer compartment there. Little dorm style fridge, as I like to call it, and the Suburban griddle, which connects up to your LP Quick Connect down here underneath. So you just remove this, you'll notice the little stopper there. This goes in like that, and then this is your control for turning the propane off and on. You can also plug in like your portable grill or whatever you need to in there. Just if you have propane in your tanks, give it a chance to run through the line to get to the external kitchen. If you do not have propane, obviously fill it up. But if you got propane and it's still not working, bring it in. Let our folks at Camping World take a look at it. You do have magnetic anti-slam and covered hinges on all your doors here as well. Rear stabilizer jack, external shower with hot and cold, backup camera there. Cable connection, low point drains, nice and easy to access. Plus you got your terminations right here, your black tank and your gray tank. Now, we like to tell people when you're setting up at the campsite, you don't have to leave these open all the time, especially the black tank, because that solid waste can cause pyramiding. And what that can do is that can not only give you some issues when draining it, but it can also kind of, you know, block the sensors, just be troublesome. So try to leave that closed when you can. And when you do go to dump, open the black tank first and then do the gray tank. You do have a black tank flush on this one and a city water connection here as well. Two ports, two very important ports should have two separate hoses, potable drinking water for the city connection, and then just a regular hose for this. But before you apply any water pressure to that black tank to flush it out, make sure that tank is open. You do not want to start spraying in here with it closed. That's going to end up being a bad day. You got the Schwintek slides on these with the worm groove slides. Now you'll see too with these bulbs, we recommend getting a bulb seal lubricant if you can. Because every 6 months or so, you want to lube up those seals, because if they dry, they'll crack, and that could cause some issues, not only moving the slide in and out, but could also allow unwanted moisture into the RV. And with your rims, those are Dexter Easy Lube axles there. So about every year, you want to get the bearings repacked, but talk to your specialist once again. If you're using it a lot, maybe that needs to be more than just a year. And if you come out to touch the wheel assembly and it's extremely hot, chances are something's going on. You can squirt a couple of squirts of grease in there with the Dexter Easy Lube, 1 or 2, but that's just to get you to the service center. Call Good Sam, call Camping World, get that RV in to looked at so that you do not have an issue with that wheel breaking on you. Overheating, starts throwing grease all around, and you do not want that. You got your 30 amp plug right here, which does have the lights on it, very nice little indicator lights. If you plug that in and you're not getting juice, be sure to check the power post, make sure the circuit breaker is on. Pass through storage there, or excuse me, just accessible storage. So we've seen some of the features on the outside of your Forest River Platinum Salem FSX 178BHSKX. What do you say we go take a look at some of the ones on the inside? All right, so first thing you probably want to look for inside your 178BHSKX, I'm just gonna call it the 178, is this info command panel right here. This is gonna allow you to control the slide, the awning, as well as some of the other functions. We'll just go from top to bottom. So this is your awning control, and here's the thing about these panels. Sometimes up is in, sometimes down is in, and vice versa. There is no rhyme or reason, just know it's a toggle switch to control a function inside or outside the RV. So down for out for the awning, up for in. On this one though, down is in for the slide, and up is out for the slide. So backwards on this one here. Now your water pump in this one, if you're connected up to fresh water, you don't need to run the water pump. If you're boondocking, that's when you'll cut it on. Your water heater, being propane, does also have a 6-gallon bypass on it. So when you cut this on, that direct spark ignition is going to try to light. If you got propane, it should be okay. This light comes on to let you know that there's a fault. It should go off once it's lit. If you do cut this on and you're not getting any light, you know there's propane, be sure to check that flash tube. Be sure to check, make sure everything looks okay in there. If not, bring it into Camping World. Let us take a look at it for you. You got your light controls here, battery, fresh, black, and gray tank. With your battery, if you go to run the slide out and you're using the coach battery and you notice that it's below 2/3, you don't have enough power to run the slide out. We like to say at least 12 volts to run it out. Now, with your fresh, your black, and your gray, if you dump those tanks and you've dumped them, but you come in here and you check it and it's still showing 2/3 or even full, chances are there might just be a bead of water connecting the two sensors on the side of the tank. Give it about 15 minutes to let that drip down to the bottom. Come back and check it. It should read empty. If not, bring it in. Let our folks take a look at it for you. Right up front is where we're going to start this time. You have a Murphy bed system, and you do not have the jackknife sofa. You have just the pillows that Velcro to the base. So we're going to set these over here. And once again, with anything where you're lifting or moving a heavy component, bad back, bad shoulders, whatever, if you don't feel comfortable, ask for some help. Just do not put yourself or your RV in harm's way. Make sure that there's not too much pressure on this latch forward or backwards. Lift it up, move it out the way, drop this down, and here your bed will fold down. And now you have yourself a nice little comfy foam mattress top. Now with your pull down shades, you'll notice these are suspension strings on here. And over time, they will wear down and get loose. You can tighten them by just taking your finger, running it around the stopper at the bottom. Just make sure you do it on both sides so that it maintains that strength in coming up and down and staying where you want it to stay. Over here in the kitchen, you'll notice on the bottom, we have our 20,000 BTU furnace right there. Plus we have our 2-burner Greystone cooktop with glass cover, not only giving me additional prep space, but acting as a backsplash. Now with this one, you have to turn it counterclockwise to the light setting and get you a match to cut it on, and then turn it, whichever way you need to go to get whatever heat setting you want. If you do have propane and is still not lighting, check to make sure the propane's open. There's nothing wrong with the tubes. If you do have propane, there's propane. The furnace is working, the hot water heater's working, but this isn't. Bring it in, let our folks at Camping World take a look at it for you. Greystone microwave on this one works as most microwaves do. You also have the undermounted sink here with the high-rise faucet. It is a 50/50, and this cover doubles as a cutting board. So you can cut on the other side or just use it there to give yourself some of that additional prep space. Now, your Everchill 10.7 cubic foot 12-volt fridge freezer combo. This is the travel lock. Remove that to open it up, and you'll see you got your controls for the freezer up top. You can put it cold or colder wherever you want it. Down here, you can just cycle through the buttons to pick, how cold you want your fridge. And then to cut it off, you just push and hold. But this is a 12-volt fridge. So it'll run off the coach battery. And I like to advise people, if you can, get some solar panels to plug it into that quick connect outside on the campsite, because that will help not only keep you from draining the battery too much with this, it'll help keep the lights going, so forth and so on. Now you have a roof-mounted 13.5 BTU Coleman Mach AC. Right now we have it going on low. This is about how loud it will get. If you want to hear what it sounds like on high, that's what it sounds like on high. You have these panels that you can close. You still get air coming out, but just a little bit, just makes it a little bit quieter. Your model may or may not have filters. Just check. If you do, they should be over here on the side. Like this one, you can replace those. I like to say every 6 months, but it just depends on use and your area. Over here on the off-camp side, nestled inside your slide, is the booth dinette. This does reduce down into a sleeper, and you'll notice right here is where the table will rest. You just lift this up off the legs, remove the legs, set the table down flush on the seat, and then just move the cushions from the back to the middle, slide these out, and now you got yourself pretty much a full-size bed if you want to get some sleep in it. Your 20,000 BTU Suburban heat controls are located right here. You just cut those on by moving it to whatever temperature you want. You should hear it fire up and kick off if you have propane. It is an electric switch, so just check on that. If you don't have power, chances are that's why it's not working. USB charging there, TV backer. This should be set up for a 32-inch TV, but talk to your specialist about the size and the weight that most of these Platinum FSXs can handle. You're also pre-wired for Wi-Fi, 4G LTE extension. Very nice little additional service to get. You got the powered boosted connections for your cable or your satellite, as well as a GFCI outlet. You also have dual USBs in your double bunks there, both tablet and phone ready. You got the high-rise plastic bowl with the foot flush here too. And with this, push it down just a little bit to get water in the bowl, and then flush it by pushing it all the way down. If the flapper for some reason doesn't stick all the way around that seal and you notice water draining, you can actually take a little bit of Vaseline, put a glove on, and then rub it around the bottom of that black seal. That will help that flapper stay in place, at least until you can get it serviced if you need. Sink with hot and cold, GFCI outlet, shower with a powered vent and fan here. You just twist to open up the vent and then cut on the fan. That'll help not only when you're taking a shower, but if this RV is really hot and you want to cool it down, these are also good ways to pull hot air out of the RV. And last but not least, if anything electronic inside your RV seems to not be working, right here is your fuse and circuit breaker box. What you can do is check, because these fuses right here are smart. So there's a red light in the middle that if this fuse is faulty, it'll light up red. And you'll notice the little panel right here has a little area you can see in it. You'll be able to see the red glow if something's wrong. So if the AC is not working, and here, we'll go ahead and cut this off so you can kind of hear the sound difference between when the air is running and when it's off. But if nothing electronic is working, you're plugged into shore power, the battery disconnect is where it needs to be. This is where you go to see if there's something wrong with one of the fuses. If everything still looks okay and you're still not working, bring it in so one of our folks can hopefully take care of it for you. But hopefully these will give you some ideas and tips and tricks on how to enjoy your camping experience with your brand new Forest River Platinum Salem FSX 178BHSKX. But at any time, if you have questions or you need help, we have an elite service team standing by. Just give us a call or bring the unit in, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure you enjoy this RV to its absolute fullest.